Hi, I'm Maria and I was chosen by producttesting.uk.com to test and review the Dyson V6 Absolute. Here's my review. I was notified by email on Wednesday the 11th of November 2015 that I had been chosen to select and review the Dyson V6 Absolute. This was confirmed on Thursday the 12th of November and the product was delivered on Saturday the 14th of November by Royal Mail Sign for Service. The delivery driver was polite and the parcel arrived without any damage. The Dyson V6 Absolute Vacuum was delivered in its own product box and had simple plastic wrap around it to protect it from rain and dirt. The product was full of pictures of the V6, the accessories and capabilities. Inside the box, each item had been carefully packaged in plastic bags and cardboard separating all the parts to avoid damage. Altogether, effective and informative packaging and 98% recyclable waste. The V6 was very simple to assemble, and after a brief read of the instructions, I was able to use it. It came with some charge in the battery, so it was possible to use immediately. I simply chose an appropriate head for the surface I wanted to tackle, pulled the trigger, and away I went. As a disabled woman with limited mobility, I was impressed with how lightweight the V6 actually was, and how little effort was required when vacuuming. It also has impressive suction power for such a small device. I love the compact design and the colours used on the V6 Absolute. It's a very attractive machine. The main body of the V6 is easy to hold and control, as well as being reasonably lightweight and fairly well balanced, which allows you to move it around quite easily. Alternating between the different tools for different surfaces, both high and low, is made simple due to the button release and simple click to fit methods used. One of its design flaws is its limited bin size and power consumption. I will go into more detail about this later on. For a cordless, lightweight and compact vacuum, it certainly does have some power. Even without using the max mode, basically a boost function, this tiny V6 outperformed my upright Dyson 01, well, it is over 20 years old, in getting the floor clean every time. The V6 held its own on every surface tested: carpet, vinyl, wood, curtains, bedding were all given a test and with appropriate tools, and I have to say that I was very impressed with the results. I just wish the charge had lasted a little bit longer. Okay, one thing I found a little irritating and extremely time consuming was the fill capacity. The bin size is tiny at 0.4 litres, and having to stop and empty it quite so often for me was exhausting. So for an able-bodied person, I can imagine they would find it more than a little irritating. I have 12 cats and 2 dogs, so pet hair can and does appear all of the time, and this fills the tiny bin to its max line in no time at all. If you didn't have pets and were only using it to clean up minor spills or even a quick clean around, then I don't think it would bother you as much. Once the supply wall bracket had been mounted, the V6 with its pipe attached, a large head plus 2 small tools can be quickly and easily stored. However, I was disappointed that the wall bracket did not have the capability of holding the other 2 V6 heads. This meant that they had to be stored separately and weren't readily accessible when I wanted them. It takes up minimal wall space and looks quite attractive, and I'm sure it will be a source for many a discussion when visitors see it mounted on the wall. For a vacuum, it's not as loud as I would have expected. I took the liberty of checking with a decibel meter, and under normal operation in close proximity it only registered at 83 decibels and 88 decibels on maximum. My Dyson 01 registers at an ear-damaging 94 decibels. So, long-term use of the V6 wouldn't cause any audible damage, and environmentally it is within the ranges of the law for household appliances. The V6 is surprisingly light to hold and very well balanced for the floor, up high or somewhere in between. If, like me, you have limited mobility and poor upper body strength, those hard to reach places are better handled by your manservant. Having a number of pets, hair can be a real pain to get off the carpets, your clothes, bedding. With the V6, I have to say, it's no longer such a terrible battle. The combination of the direct drive cleaner head and the sheer power of the V6 are amazing at getting those pesky hairs cleaned up. The battery only lasts for about 15 minutes when doing general multi-surface clean, not using the maximum mode. If you need to use the max mode, only expect it to last for about 5 minutes before it needs charging, which can take up to about 3.5 hours. I'm surprised the battery doesn't last for longer, and if you have a lot to clean, don't expect to get it done before the charge runs out. Cleaning for this reason could take you all day. At the Dyson list price of £449.99, I'm surprised it doesn't last for longer than 5 to 20 minutes at a time, and has a small waste collection bin. Yes, it does clean very well. It's lightweight and easy to use, but I would have to think twice before recommending it to a friend with such a high price tag. My old but very trusty Dyson 01 is heavy, cumbersome and noisy, but cleans well. It has large storage capacity and a mains power. The Dyson V6 Absolute is light, easy to manoeuvre, not as noisy, cleans a lot better, but has limited storage capacity and short power life of 5 to 20 minutes before recharging is required. I have to say, for us as a family with a large amount of pets and 2 children, there really is no comparison to having a large capacity vacuum. I would rate the Dyson V6 Absolute as a 5 out of 5 for performance, but due to the limited battery life and very small bin capacity, I have to be realistic and therefore give it a final score of 3 out of 5. For me, this would be an ideal second vacuum, used mainly for quick cleans and emergency spills. Generally, I'm very impressed with its overall performance and cleaning ability. It's just a shame it couldn't manage to clean a full home efficiently and in a reasonable time scale. If you lived alone, or even in a minimalistic home, then this could be for you. But for a full family, it really would only serve as a second vacuum cleaner. Thank you for choosing me to review and test the Dyson V6 Absolute. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope it's not too long before I get to test and review another product for producttestinguk.com. Thank you.